Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this Friday? Yes, I'm at my fireside chat tonight. Hey, we're going to talk about the meeting of all the top brass in Conoco, Virginia on Tuesday, which I will admit is very unusual, and talk about 3i Atlas, and maybe they're connected. Who knows? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, anyway, yeah, we're going to have my fireside chat. So, let's flip it over here. Yep. I tell you what, beautiful evening. Can't get much better than this. I love living out in the country. It's like camping all pretty much. So, anyway, have you ever noticed? I want to go a little bit on YouTube. Have you ever noticed that on your feed, you always got that top advertisement, right? And no matter what you do, it seems like, let's say, I listen to a lot of stuff on YouTube, right? I don't necessarily watch it. And I'll sit there and put my phone back into my phone case, and it flips onto that advertisement. Really? And then I can sit there and scroll down my feed and put my phone in my thing, put it in my pocket, and nothing happens. Really, YouTube? And then you get an advertisement, right? And it won't let you skip it. It's got the skip ad on there, but you can press that, and then your phone, if you got on auto rotate, will switch directions and stuff. I tell you what, YouTube, if you're losing money, I got a suggestion for you. See, you bought Google, you bought YouTube because it was a moneymaker, right? And at first you made a fortune on it. Why don't you go back to those days where you had people in charge that didn't care what somebody else's political beliefs were? But I tell you what, YouTube, you want to go back to making money, then go back to the way you were 10 years ago, 12 years ago. When you were pretty much a First Amendment minded platform. Anyway, I just find it strange that the ads on YouTube, either you can't skip them or they just pop up. Hey, how's it going? Can you say, no, I can't say that. Anyway, I'm glad I got people showing up. Well, let's talk about this here. Let's talk about this meeting of the top brass in Quantico, Virginia. Okay, now when they say 800 people are going to be there, that's not going to be 800 generals, between 800 people between generals and admirals. Hey, thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. Okay, it's also going to be their staff. The chief of staffs are going to be there and stuff, but it is very unusual. I mean, if you were going to, let's say, going to have an attack, we were going to attack, NATO was going to attack in Europe and stuff, you would kind of like have the European commanders over there, right? You're not going to have the commanders from all over. We got troops all over the world now. You're not going to bring these guys in. They got jobs to do. A general don't just sit on his ass. And you're going to pull them out of their command to bring them to Quantico to have what he talks, a pep talk now? A pep talk. I mean, if they want to do a decapitation strike, I mean, before World War II, Stalin killed a lot of his generals because they didn't agree with him politically. He was scared of them. Just imagine the decapitation strike they could do with all our general staff officers in Quantico at one time. That's ridiculous. Can you talk about no stairs? Whatever, sub. Don't make me have to. If you can't sit there and say nice things, then I'm going to sit there and block you from my channel. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. I don't have time for children on my channel anymore. I don't have any of that. Okay? But I appreciate you help my analytics out by commenting and giving me time and stuff. But anyway, I don't think this meeting's going to be a pep talk. All right. To me, it would have to be something that's obviously affecting the whole military and all commands overseas. I mean, this is obviously something that's going to affect all commands. So what could it possibly be? Strangeness, huh? Never happened before. Just think of the logistics for that. Pulling generals from all over the world. I mean, they're not riding on commercial airlines coach. They're riding military planes. It's not like they don't have military planes flying all the time. But this is crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine, let's say it's 600 or 400 generals and their chiefs of staffs, all in Quantico, Virginia at one time. Boy, I'd hate to be the guard at the gate having to do the saluting, huh? You'd be a permanent salute for about, can you imagine that many generals? I was in the military, right? If you had a couple generals besides the general of your major commands and stuff, but I couldn't imagine them all of a sudden having, 400 to 600 generals all in one spot at one time on one base. That's crazy time. I mean, I suppose they'll have, while they're there, they'll probably do a pass and review. I'm sure they'll have some type of parade or ceremony. I mean, that would only make sense. But it's strange. It's very strange. Anyway, hey, everybody want to look at me for a while? Isn't that a beautiful sight out there? Like I say, you don't get much better than the country. You people that like the city, I have nothing against you. But in that show Survivor, you put me out out on an island, I'll be the last one caught, okay? And they're gonna have to catch me. You put me in the city, I'm gonna be the first one off that show if I can sit there and find my way out of the city. Anyway, not much of that big city stuff. So, but yeah, I'm liking it out here. But yeah, I can see the YouTube when they sat there and said they're gonna stop shadow banning and stuff. I guess they didn't really mean it now, did they? Well, they had to clarify their statement the next day. But yeah, Alex Jones put them to the test. But he have a video up for about 8 hours and they took his channel down. Yeah, whatever. This is YouTube. What do you do? This is why, they'll spread rumors. They don't want hate speech on there unless you're conservatives getting threatened by a liberal. That's okay. You get death threats on YouTube and stuff in the comment sections, and YouTube can't seem to see that. I guess they're just, maybe one side a little biased and stuff, but that's what all social media platforms are. They have their algorithms have the bias of the owner of the place. Flat out, that's the way it works. And no matter what social media platform you go to, they're going to say they're not doing it. They're full of crap. Charlie Kirk, where do you even go with Charlie Kirk? That's just another thing where we ain't gonna ever hear the truth on. But yeah, pray for Charlie Kirk. Pray for the people that want to sit there and shoot up conservatives. Pray for them that maybe they'll wake the hell up and stop believing the crap. Those are the people we need to pray for so this stuff doesn't happen anymore. See, this thing about censorship and shadow banning. These people are mentally confused and are not allowed to hear any other narrative except the narrative that people that want them to do bad things want them to hear. And could you imagine being Candace Owens, Glenn Beck, Tucker Carlson right now? I'm not afraid. I'm a Marine. See, this stuff don't fear me. I dealt with crazier people. I dealt with terrorists back in the 80s. Those were some real killers. But anyway, it's these people are mentally ill. They're hurting inside. And then you got the idiots and then they're on medications and whoo. And then they're, instead of, could you imagine if you went to a psychologist, you were having problems, they put you on antipsychotic medication, and then your psychiatrist is telling you what the politicians say on national TV? Could you imagine what would happen then? That psychologist would get fired thrown in jail and everything, right? For corrupting a mind that could be corrupted for their own little personal gains. Crazy time, people. But when you're only allowed to hear one side, hearing all sides, nothing wrong with that. If you have common sense and, can comprehend stuff and know good from bad, shouldn't be too hard to make a choice. Anyway, if somebody's got to silence you so they can make the choices for you, it's a bad way to live. Brother, you don't even know what you're trying to say. Okay, Zach. Full Metal Chad. How about giving young kids ADHD medication because they are high care? Just give them meth. No shit. That's all that stuff is. See, when I was growing up, it was called being a kid. And you got punished because all kids sit there and, test boundaries. And we got punished. We did there with ADHD and that shit didn't exist. But yeah, that's all that stuff is. I tell you what, the pharmaceutical companies they're playing their part in this mental illness too. But yeah, like that Ritalin that they had all these kids on in the 90s. And now you look at they're adults now, and a lot of them are in Social Security because they can't function. But it doesn't. Hey, Boof Dingo, you want to get? I can sit there and get you off my channel if you want. Want to make a comment like that? I'll get rid of you. This ain't a channel for children. I gotta sit there and hit a thing. No, this content is not meant for children. They need to put adult children in that too, I guess. But this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. But anyway, back to all these top brass. So I would say it ain't going to be no pep talk. I don't think Secretary of War, I don't even care anymore off the top of my head. I don't think he's going to sit there and say, I'm the guy in charge, and we all need to get on the same page. We all need to become the American fighting force. I thought we were the best military in the world. Was Pete Hegseth, that's his name, is he admitting that maybe Russia and China have more male that think they're men in their military? We're going to go up against militaries that have real men in them. All right. We may not even, with all these autonomous drones and stuff they got now, heck, 10 years we may be fighting battles with robots. And whatever industry collapses first is the country that loses. Who the hell knows? By the way, this meeting, I would say, is not a pep talk. You don't sit there. It's the logistics, like I say. Quantico, Virginia, if you've ever been there, right? And they're going to have over 400 generals in Quantico, Virginia at one time. Like I say, it's not 800 generals, as I'm sure their chiefs of staff will be there. But, okay, so let's say 600 generals in Quantico at one time. I wouldn't want to be there. I'd be taking leave if I was a Marine. Hey, can I get leave next week, please? All the dog and pony shows that are going to be going on. Anyway, crazy time. When I was in the Marine Corps, we'd have, like when General Gray came to talk to us, our unit, before we deployed, and that was before he got commandant of the Marine Corps, just before he got commandant of the Marine Corps, but they knew he was going to get it. And the big pop and circumstance that we had for that. But, it was nice. General Gray, I sat there, he talked to the private just like he talked to the, one thing, he comes in the theater, right? We're in the theater, and there's no smoking signs all over the theater. He comes in puffing on his cigar. Yeah, that was General Gray. He ain't going to take no shit. Anyway. Oh, hey, Sonny, I didn't see you were there. I appreciate you being here. But, yeah, okay, so why are they having this meeting? Like I say, it's got to be something that's going to affect all commands. All commands. Not just in the Venezuela theater that we're starting up now, or the China, Taiwan, or the Korea, or the European theater, or the Middle East theater. This is all of them. Okay? When Hitler was going to have an attack on Russia, he didn't call his generals from France in to sit there and discuss the battle plan. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Strangeness. Dangerous. Strange. The logistics. And like I say, Quantico, Virginia was 600 generals there and admirals all at one time. God. That would be a nightmare. That wouldn't be fun. I'm sure everybody will be glad when, well, if they get out of there on Wednesday, everybody will be very happy when Thursday comes and they can get back to normal. So anyway, good to see you, Sonny. Yep, appreciate you being here. Yeah, I tell you what, the YouTube, I'm trying to sit there and shake up the algorithm. I'm trying to sit there and figure out how I can get my channel out of this godforsaken slump. It seems like the more material I put on, the harder they get on me. And then I put on less material. I don't know. You know, I like to sit there and be a YouTube content creator, but I ain't got much time here. It's either going to make it or break it. You know, the thing is, we got so much bad shit coming on. I may not even be on YouTube in a month. Things may get absolutely crazy because that's what it seems like everybody wants. Anyway, let's tie up this, what's happening with 3i Atlas, okay? Whew. Now, that would be something that would affect the whole world, wouldn't you say? And that would be something that you would want to discuss over anything that can be intercepted and deciphered. So, what do they know? I don't know. That's one thing that could affect the whole world. This whole 3i Atlas thing is getting crazy. I mean, there's more of the experts that are saying it could be alien technology. The thing is that they've quieted down a lot. It's hard to find information on it now. Which, you know, something like that, Discovery, you figure they'd be telling us everything, every new thing they found out. But it's like, you know, first I hear it's going to hit Mars. You know, they don't got the trajectory down yet. And then they got all these other comets that are going to converse with 3i Atlas behind the sun, okay? So we can't see it, right? Now, basic military doctrine is you come at the battle from different directions, be sitting wanting to sing Kumbaya with us because, you know, we're kind of a screwed up species since we don't even know how many genders there are anymore. A highly advanced civilization would realize that we're not highly advanced. Okay. Oh, this wind is switching, getting the smoke in the eyes. Hey, Sonny. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Yeah, I got my Lone Wolf Prepper shirt on. Like I say, I still got your shirt with your name on. All you got to do is give me an address. What you doing there? I am having a fireside chat. Enjoying the evening. Discussing stuff in today's world. Like when we have strange visitors from interstellar space. And we have a meeting of all the top brass. Or most of the top brass. Anyway, just it's crazy time. Crazy. Can you imagine? I don't even know where they would hold that in Quantico. Anyway, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. But, you know, 3i Atlas, let's say that is going to be an issue here in the next couple months. That would affect all commands. I mean, I have a believing that's alien technology. But then again, it's not acting like a normal comet now, is it? It's just space is getting awful cluttered up there right now, so they're saying. A lot of stuff coming in from everywhere. And it all seems to be intersecting behind the sun where we can't see it. Where's your lady friend? I don't have a lady friend. Freedom fries. The Republican Party is supposed to be small government freedom and the right to freedom upon everything, speech, religion, everything. Not always come out perfect, but yeah, exactly, Sonny. You know, everybody exercises their amendment rights differently, but they don't break them. But not everybody has the same taste. And if you want to sit there, if somebody's exercising their rights in a way that you wouldn't do, it doesn't matter. They still have a right to do it. If you tell them they can't, then you don't have a right to exercise it either. See, it's a double-edged sword. That's why it's best to go down the middle instead of be on either side of the cutting blade. Okay? But, you know, and they want to solve the problems of this country, start enforcing laws in it. I tell you what, Trump, why haven't you called social media execs into the Oval Office and attention in front of you and say either you shape your shit up or get out? I mean, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, if you can't handle it, sell your company to somebody that's got a little thicker skin than you, that understands the spirit of the First Amendment. Anyway, but see, now with this 3i Atlas, now it's just another thing where I'm trying to catch up on new stuff on it, and you're not hearing new stuff. It's just continuation. It's like no matter what you watch, it's just the same damn story. These people won't be happy until we're gone. King of a graveyard. Can you imagine your goal is to be king of a graveyard? Or your servants or your people that are under you are nothing but troglodytes. Crazy time. Anyway, yeah, see, YouTube. It just, you spend a lot of time on YouTube trying to wake people up and stuff. And the closer we get to conflict, the harder they're coming down on us. And eventually I'll wake up one morning and I won't be able to, they won't channel down, but I bet you I won't be able to download a video or something like that. There'll be social media blackout. So what do you do? What do you do? That's why I'm out here. Is prepare, people. Prepare. If you're in the big city, maybe you might want to take a vacation this week. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure we're not going to go to war this week, but is it war or is it a comment that aliens coming at us that they're all worried about? I don't know. I don't know. The thing about this 3i Atlas too is you got these smart people, extremely smart people that have the answers for everything, right? And all of a sudden they got a puzzle in front of them that they can't figure out. And now they're going to where they're even thinking, oh, it could be alien technology. And if you look at the Democrats, they're literally building up socialism. Yep. Socialism. Socialism don't work. Socialism is for people that have no hope in themselves. They feel they can't accomplish anything. So they got to do it on the coattails of somebody else. That's what socialism is. Taking from people that can achieve and giving it to people that need to achieve, but instead they're just getting it. Everybody can achieve stuff. You don't need to be taken care of. God, you live totally free and stuff, and you're independent. And you'd understand why the government's bad. How it holds you down. The government don't help nobody. Politicians, they go to DC, the only person they help is themselves. You don't see the average, all you that got 401k, Is it just as great as the politicians have it, where you put 100,000 in 1 year and then 2 years later there's $4 million in that account? Is that how yours goes? And the thing is, we're paying for all this shit. Anyway, but the Republicans take advantage of the crap just as bad. Republicans aren't going to sit there and turn down a free ride just because they're going to stand up for their Republican moral. No, the Democrats did it, so I can did it. So I can do it. The other side did it. How many times do we hear that? Oh, it's okay because the other side did it. Yeah, but you bitched when they did it. Crazy time. Anyway, so is war imminent? I don't know. Is 3i Atlas gonna, an alien ship that's gonna sit there and start messing with us? I don't know. And then all these drone sightings now they're having in Europe, and they're blaming it on Russia. All these drone sightings, and they're saying, well, we're going to shoot them down. What do you mean you're going to shoot them down? You might shoot them down, or you're talking about shooting them down. You mean Russia's invading your airspace with jets and drones, and you're not doing nothing? Heck, remember when Poland fired that missile and it hit their elevator, and they tried to use that as a false flag to start up World War III? I don't think they're Russian stuff. Personally, I don't. Knock one out of the sky. Let's see. Just that's like Trump was going to tell us what was over the East Coast, basically all over the world, but at our East Coast this last winter. And there were what AA exercise or whatever secret deal they were doing. Bullshit. You mean the FAA secretly, in a secret operation, is going to fly crafts into airport airspace that causes airports to close down because of a danger? You mean the FAA did that? See, this is how stupid they think we are. So they're saying the FAA put airplanes in danger for some operational exercise they were doing. Mega rhetoric is completely different from policy. Mega says small government, but spends the most. Mega says middle class, but hey, wings of the same bird, buddy. Wings of the same bird. You think a fucking mega politician's any different than a liberal politician? No. They're taking your money and spending it the way they want to on shit that isn't going to better you. All you people waiting for the politician to make your life better? Ain't working, is it? All you people hoping that voting's going to make things better? Not working, is it? I mean, voting just gotten worse. Far worse. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, years ago in the 70s and 80s, you had an election and nobody complained about it when it was done. Everybody went to work the next day. Nobody protested. We haven't had that since 2000, since the George Bush first election. So that's 6 elections we've had now that have been just total chaos. Anyway, so if you think our politicians are the answer to your problems, you're the answer to your problems. You just got to get these people that are allowed to affect our lives. They're allowed to affect their lives bad, and then all this secrecy. One thing about me, I guess I'll know when a nuclear war starts because I'll be able to look off to the west and see the shit coming out of the silos and going up in the air. I hope I get the warning before that so I don't have to see that because, too close for comfort here. Anyway. I just can't believe Russia would sit there and spend a lot of nuclear missiles trying to take out silos. I mean, all they got to do is take out. It's not like there's a command and control person at every silo. They don't work that way. This may not be clear. I don't give a shit if it is. They got launch control sites that are separate from the silos. The silos is just a small area, fenced in area that's got cement there and stuff. And, you definitely don't want to break down in front of one of them, or you have the Air Force with a machine gun up your ass in about 3 minutes. But they just need to take out the command and control center. They don't need to take out all the silos. They take out that, and let's say got to where that gets taken out, and then they all launch by themselves. I don't know how that works. So anyway, Tom, thoughts on Antifa being classified a terrorist organization? Yeah, it's about time. The thing is, are they going to do anything? What about BLM? Okay, exactly. Terrorist organization. I got one question for you, Sonny. What happens when the Democrats get in office and claim patriots? Now, the thing is, terrorist organization, just start enforcing the laws and arresting them. They're criminals, right? I keep losing you, my friend. Yeah, I tell you, YouTube's playing games. YouTube don't want me here, so I haven't got shit for views tonight. I'm out here. I shouldn't have any reception problems. Clear skies, no storms, but this is the world we live in, people. They don't want us talking to each other. They don't want us talking to each other if we agree with each other, and they definitely don't want us talking to each other if we disagree, because then we just might agree. Am I buffering then, Sonny? I tell you what, this is the thing. What do you do? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to get around this algorithm. I'm trying to figure out how to do my little part in getting the word out. But you wouldn't even believe how, Sonny, you download videos. You get on them pages when you start down on your video and you got to fill out the information. If it messes with me, it'll sit there and quit. Like, it just messes with me bad. But we're supposed to pretend this ain't going on. Anyway, but all I can do is prepare. Because when it comes time to react to this, and you saw it was coming, you're going to be good to go. If you, were shut out, didn't want to sit there and prepare and thought everything was going to be fine, well, you may be a little hurt. I guess what it comes down to is they can silence me all they want, but it's still not going to stop me from preparing. We're here with you. Pray. I know what you're talking about. Absolutely. Tom, I can't comment on your shorts. They don't let me. I can't even click the section and read them. I know. Why? I mean, I don't understand it. You ain't the first person. They all can't comment. You can't hit the like button. You can't subscribe. I can't even imagine where my channel would be if I didn't have roadblocks. Like my Lone Wolf Prepper channel, where would that be if I didn't have roadblocks and that got canceled? My subscription to Turning Point keeps getting removed. Yep. Well, like I say, when's Trump going to call these assholes in on the carpet and say, if you can't run, they need to be charged. So YouTube can come and say, yep, we conspired with the Biden administration to infringe on people's First Amendment rights. That's what they did. Nothing happens to them. So why shouldn't they keep doing it? All they got to do is say something's hate speech. Hate speech. So what's hate speech? Hate speech is me saying something that somebody disagrees with, upsets them. Speech, or I believe in my opinions. Anyway, yeah, I know you. This is why I'm trying to figure it out, Sonny. I'm figuring out how to get my channel to grow because I'm getting a little frustrated. I mean, like I say, just for me to download a short sometimes. I mean, last night, that short I put on, it took me an hour and a half to get that 30-some second short to do it, and it still didn't do it right. I sit there and turn the volume down on the other shorts and turned up the music, and it still leads the quality of my content. That's what they do, flat out. You know, they can't. Well, that was their life. That was their living. That's how they made their money. That was their business. And then YouTube, just because they said something that disagreed with them, had a right to ruin their business? I mean, you're a rich-ass billionaire, Jeff Bezos. How the hell can what a little man says harm you at all? I mean, I don't care what your rich ass says. It's pointless. I mean, it's like, let the man talk. I love hearing retards talk. Okay? But anyway, this is what we live in. Just information on it. Now, nothing. Nothing. What's that tell me? You know, just like when I did my alien abduction video, right? Thinking, hey, I'm crazy. I'll say, yeah, I seen some strange stuff. You know, I'm crazy. But what's YouTube do during that video live stream? It shuts the live stream down, says you are finished. Time ago, my alien abduction story. Holy crap. Hour and a half. I know you're 100% crazy. It'll get to 99% uploaded after it took 2 hours to get there. And it won't go the rest of the way. It won't go into processing. You know, when it takes me 4 hours to download a 5-minute video or 6-minute video, I just don't see the censorship stopping. I don't see the shadow banning stopping. Okay, I don't see the First Amendment being followed. All right. Nobody's, like I say, hate speech. You got hate speech. Oh, you mean I said something that made somebody upset? Well, no shit. So does that mean when somebody does that to me, I have microaggression and I could use all my talents to take care of them? This is a crazy world we live in, people. Crazy world we live in. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Tell you what, you just fall in love out here. You know, you people in the big city. Okay, we got Google in here now too. Hey, Google, how's it going? Hey, can you release my live stream so I get some people in? Man, I'm fucking YouTube. Get out here and read a book. Whatever. Do a filibuster till anyway. You know, it's kind of nice knowing that my speech, not even if I was face to face with Jeff Bezos, just imagine how I'd scare that guy. I mean, I'm sitting here on talking to my phone, thousands of miles from that man, and he's scared as shit of me. Scared as shit is what I have to say. What do you think these rich elites are going to do when they have from surviving, from being able to react to the situations that they're going to cause? I can't even say they're lightening up there a lie because I didn't really know firsthand. I see YouTube, though, is terrible. YouTube, Google, and together. Yeah, they're all. You know, I grew up in a time where First Amendment rights. That's your problem. Okay, you had to take ownership for your own feelings, your own emotions. That don't happen no more. But, you know, maybe Jeff Bezos and all these social media platforms get all scared because they can see a real man zone. I tell you what, I am so ready. Next spring for sure. I'm headed to the mountains. I'm getting out of here. Tremendous amount of skills. And you know all this stuff. You have gravity-fed running water, hot water. All you gotta do is run piping through the chimney to get hot water. I mean, it's easy. Electricity, that's easy. But see, a lot of people don't know that. You know, I would have lived in the old, the colonial days with the knowledge I have now. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I'm going to get out there and do it before I can't go do it. Because they have roadblocks up everywhere, right? And you got to go through a road checkpoint somewhere if you want to get somewhere and have the proper papers. Yeah, because the military still hasn't left Washington, D.C., has it? Sure hasn't. And now we got the military top brass showing up to Quantico. Anyway, all you Marines that are going to have to cater to these, for God, we made it. You know, that many generals on one base at one time. I couldn't even imagine. But anyway, yep, things are getting crazy. So maybe they, like I say, they can throw aliens on the top of it now. But I like to get the truth iron and carbon dioxide. I heard 12-1 and 8-1 to oxygen and stuff. But then again, if it was formed in another solar system, another part of the galaxy, that could be possible. But the refined metals, okay? If you could sit there and go to a galaxy that had, where nature refined the metals. But anyway, boy, this has just been one heck of a kick-ass live stream. Yep, I still guess they haven't got the algorithm figured out. Oh, I know. All I got to do is sit on YouTube and put a dress on and put makeup on and sit there and say I'm a girl, or, you know, decide to sit there and get real unhealthy and just start shoving food in my mouth so people can watch that. I mean, what some people make money on social media for is ridiculous. And the amounts of money they make on that is ridiculous. It shows me a lot of people are sick in this world. Maybe that's why I live out here in the middle of nowhere too, so I don't have to see how sick society's really getting. But pray, brother, in this moment, pray. Yep. But then again, we're going to all have to endure what God has planned for us. Are we not? That's what's going to make us stronger. Endure what he wants us to endure so we can earn our way to heaven. You know, and we just happen to be the people that are going to have to endure it. You know, that's what happens with evil. We let evil loosen on this planet. And that's what we did. Evil got let loose. It wasn't bridled. It still isn't bridled. Running wild. And if you stand up to it, there's something wrong with you. Nothing wrong with standing up to the devil. In fact, it's what you're required to do if you're a Christian. Don't cower to him. Stand up to him. Say, screw you, buddy, ain't happening. So maybe that's why I get, my channel gets affected so bad on YouTube. Whatever. Can say, eventually I'll be out, you know, if I have to get in the position again, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Making the right choices and being in a position where I'm safe, because it just looks like everybody don't care anymore. They just want to fight. Freedom of speech, so you tell the world the truth. The thing is, if you hadn't allowed to express yourself, what happens to people if they keep it in? You know, you don't have to believe it. The crazy man comes up to me and starts talking crazy stuff, or somebody starts saying stuff that's totally insane. I'm not going to believe it, but he still has the right to say it. Yeah, our founding fathers prayed. They prayed for guidance, you know. I'm sure they prayed that their sacrifice would last as long as possible. But we don't live in a moral country no more. Thomas Jefferson, the Constitution can only stand with the moral people. Why do you think our Constitution don't stand anymore? Get rid of the constitutional republic because we want to bring in our democracy. Anyway, crazy time, people. Well, I'm going to get out of here since YouTube is slamming me down again. I didn't put out any shorts today. I was hoping that I'd just do a live stream and it would take off. I was hoping that, but no. So I got to hit the algorithm with something else. Can you imagine? I am fighting a fucking computer AI algorithm. But don't worry, the Terminator's not real, right? AJ99, how you doing? I'm just about ready to get out of here. I hope you didn't stay awake for this. What'd you do, wake up? Yeah, YouTube slamming down on me hard there. Here, let me get my light on. Woo! Everybody see me? Not very good, huh? Oh, that wind's going in the wrong direction. It's right at me. I moved before. Anyway, but I appreciate you showing up, but I'm going to get out of here. So everybody have a great, I'm going to put out some more content this weekend, but I got to figure out a way to eat it. So I'm not saying people are scrambling, falling over themselves to watch my channel, but you know, when I got moderators and subscribers that can't even hit the thumbs up button, you can't comment. I've been wondering why I haven't been getting any comments. You know, for a while there was constantly comments and none to nothing. Anyway, I guess what I have to say, we'll see what happens this weekend. But things are getting crazy, everybody. Prepare. Just make sure you're self-sufficient and can get out of Dodge if you need to. All right? Because if you have faith in your politicians, you know, we got Venezuela, China, North Korea, Ukraine, Middle East. That's 5. And soon to be the war that starts in this country. That'll be 6. Anyway. Times could get a little crazy, everybody. Times could get a little crazy. So, put a little water on my fire. And I'm going to get, you know, this is what I'm saying. You can't do this in the city. I'm camping out here. The perks of living in the city. I mean, the perks of living in the country. Yeah, there may not be a Starbucks, but I wouldn't pay $10 for a cup of coffee. Yeah, Walmart may be, you know, an hour away. So be it. Don't go there much. But I wouldn't, if I happen to be gone one day, I haven't got a strike on this channel yet, I'm surprised. But, you know, I'm sure they'll start that shit again. Remember that, Sonny? The old strike thing? 3 strikes, you're out. Media. Anyway, yep. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Some of it's pretty interesting. Anyway, everybody have a great weekend. This is Tom with Hidden Truths.